Listen, I have thoroughly been enjoying our times together where we are making sure businesses are really set up for success, Malika. Everyone, if you don't know, you should know. I am attorney Jamila Moore, and I am your business's lethal weapon and superpower, where I help you not only protect and grow your profits through trademarks, contracts, and copyrights. I make sure that your stuff does not get stolen. Malika, introduce yourself to the people.
All right, now I am Malika Shae. I am your marketing and sales strategist. I help businesses monetize and market their business and their message. And let's get into it this week. I'm super excited to be here. This is going to be a good one. And I know I say this every week, but it's going to be a good one.
That's because every week it just gets better and better and better and better.
Absolutely.
So we're talking about strategies to find and convert your people. One of the things that I think about is so many businesses think they have failed. So many businesses think they have marketed their businesses. So many businesses think that they are unsuccessful when really they're living in the space of false failure because they do not have the right strategies in place. And if we keep it a step, they don't even know who their people are. So, Malika, what is step number one? What is step number two for people to, at the very least, find out who their true people are?
Wow. Yes, Jamila, that is a great question. And here's the deal. At the end of the day, I always say, and y'all gonna hear me talk about this and say this over and over and over and again. If the foundation is not stable, then the house will not sustain. Okay. And so part of the foundation is knowing who your audience is. Who are you talking to that you want to buy or buy your product or service, right? Who is your ideal client? So we need to be very clear and define that versus who you're actually talking to. They need to align because we could be talking to the wrong people.
And I think that's the false failure piece, right? So many business owners are in a place of false failure. So they're giving up on their hopes, they're giving up on their dreams, they're giving up on their passions, they're giving up on their purposes because they were not talking to the right people. And I think from like the business strategy perspective, for me, one of the things that I see is they talk to the people that they want to help. They talk to the people that they think need their support. But in reality, the person you should be targeting should either have the resources to pay for the solution that you have, or they are willing to go out and create the money. And when I say create the money, I've really been living in this space because if you say you want to be a
Mhm.
business owner, if you say you are a CEO, that means you're willing to go out there and create streams of income. And so, if at the beginning you aren't willing to bet on you, you aren't willing to take that step out of faith and go out there and make money, then you're really showing yourself from the beginning you're not ready to show up for you. So I think this is straight
Absolutely.
from the Holy Spirit. This ain't even from
A-
me. I think why you
Absolutely.
can't find your people is because you don't know what you're really capable of. Like, have you found you in your boldest and greatest and highest version in order for you to even go out there and find your people?
Right. I mean, listen, you said a mouthful. And at the end of the day, right, it's about the mindset, right? Are we moving from a scarcity mindset? Are we moving from a mindset of victimhood, right? Because I think if we're feeling empowered and we are moving in a place of an abundance mindset, then we would not be okay with not going out trying to find the resources to make things happen, right? Putting things in place to make sure that we are successful from the beginning and building that foundation, whether that means hiring a business attorney, hiring a marketing person, hiring somebody to do your branding, whatever that looks like. to do those things to help you get to where you need to go. So when you're talking about, defining your audience and talking to the right people, all of that encompasses that, because again, a lot of times people just don't even realize and don't know that they're not even talking to the right people. And that is where the coaching piece comes in to help you put that together.
Yes, yes. And if you're just coming in, I want you to drop in the chat, may I find my people? And may I find my people? And may I find my people? And one of the keys that we just outlined, one, you got to know yourself, know your worth, know what you're capable of. Two, you have to go out there and you have to be in front of the right people. An example that I have of that, Malika, is this woman. She came to me. She was like, I've been working in this business for years and I just have not seen success. And so I said to her, so tell
Mm.
me about like who you've been targeting and what's happening. She said, well, I want to help. Right. And what you want to help does not give you enough information about your industry. It does not give you enough information about your market. And it does not give you enough information about the people who have the resources or are willing to create the resources in order to afford your services. And so you cannot come in here, you cannot go into business with a help mentality from the standpoint of like, I just want to help people. No, you have to stand
Girl,
bold, 2 toes
yes.
down, and you have to say, I have a solution. People need it. And so I am going to position myself and place myself to be visible so that they can find the solution that they need to better their life in some way.
Yes, 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 yes. Girl, you have hit the nail on the head, because I was going to say is that a lot of times we get into business wanting to help people, and we want to help the people that who are in the survival mode, right? The people that are looking to be saved, if you will. And those people that's looking to be saved, nine times they don't have the resource. They're not your ideal client, right? They're not your ideal client. We should be the ones who are working with and looking for those people who already have established some type of traction, who have invested some type of time, money, resources into their business, and who was really, really empowered to make change and make decisions that's going to get them to the next level. We should not be putting on a cape trying to be saved, saving that person. That's just it. And once we define that, game is on.
You just made me come up with another question. The real question is, do you really want to be a CEO?
Mm.
Do you really, really, really want to be a CEO? Because if you want to be a CEO, it requires a different level and a different mindset and a different strategy for how you go out and for you to understand the power of
Absolutely.
investments and people. And so if I think about if I were starting my business from scratch again, I would be joining communities just to talk to people, to hear more about what it is that they're thinking about legal services, what it is that they're thinking about starting and growing their business, right? Because if you don't get the research from your market, then you probably won't even market. You're going to go out there and run your program. Because when you
Hmm.
have a business, it is not about you anymore. It is about your children, as I like to call it. It's like having a baby, right? You're
Right.
birthing something, and that thing, it becomes self-centered, right? And so what do these people need to hear? What do these people need to feel? What do these people need to understand in order to know that you are their solution, right? And so I think it kind of goes deeper even into the way you communicate and
Hmm.
you are communicating. Where do you see mistakes lie in there? And I hope people are dropping their questions in the chat because it's very rare that you can get some free advice in this way.
Right. So your question is, where do I think the mistakes that people make just in regards to communicating to their audience?
Yes.
Again, it goes back, and this is going to sound redundant, but it goes back to just not being clear on what you do and how you're going to solve somebody's problem, right? And from that point, just again being able to tie those two together. So who are you? I am whoever, and this is what you do. This is the problem that I know that you guys have, and this is the problem that I'm going to solve, and this is how I'm going to solve it. Right? Very simple. But I think a lot of times we get too fluffy in our message, right? So it's a lot of the woo woo, or it's a lot of fluff in your I am statement versus being very clear and concise. And so when that communication is clear and concise, then you're letting that person know, okay, oh, I got it, that resonates with me. When you're not clear and concise, people are kind of like, well, dad, well, what is it that you do? I'm not really sure. Scrolling to the next person. You understand? And so that is a big mistake that I see when people, business owners, have in regards to communication, just not being clear again on the message and who they serve, the problem that they're going to be solving, and how they're going to solve it.
No, that's really good. And I think sometimes people think they are clearer than they really are, right? Because they lead with their passion and their purpose. And
Yep,
I'm going to remind you today, it is not about you. It becomes about them, the clients, what they want, what they
absolutely.
need to hear, what they need to feel, what they need to see. I think another key here is most of the times people don't like to exercise patience in waiting for people to have enough trust. So, waiting for people to know them, waiting for people to like them, and waiting for people to trust them. And so they end up in that place of false failure because they're like, oh, they didn't buy. Oh, they didn't do this. So you let them go. But in reality, I teach the people when I'm helping them start their businesses, I say to them, you have to understand that we're in the business of building relationships. And
Hmm.
so as we build a relationship with a human being that has human needs, I am going to come to you not as money, but as for me, because I'm heavy in the Lord in a sense. I come to you saying, okay, what is it that this child needs, right? And so I'm thinking about this from the perspective of like, this is my father's son, this is my father's daughter, and they need something special. So a different level of conviction comes out when I am working with the person, when I am speaking with the person.
Hmm.
And for me, I think they probably can even feel the prayers that I'm praying, because any person that's connected to me, I have to be praying for you, because who knows what is going to come up against you,
Right.
or what you may experience that could cause you to feel deterred, that could cause you to feel discouraged, when in reality, you got the goods. You just
Yeah.
need right strategy.
Absolutely. Once again, I mean, you said a mouthful and hit the nail on the head with that. And I think to add to that, we're talking about being consistent. When you say people are not patient, right? Um, we have to definitely be consistent and know that it's not going to happen overnight. So again, going back to your question, when you're talking about the mistakes that people make in communication, it's also to the consistency in your message. Are you saying the same thing every time you introduce yourself? It should be the same thing over and over and over again. When someone asks you your name, right? You're not changing it. It's the same thing. Malika Shae. I'm not adding anything in there. And so that will become very clear as time goes on to people. Okay, she's known for this. But when you start changing things up because you feel like it's not working after a short period of time, then that's when you get that confusion and your audience is confused. And it just makes your message again unclear. And then your audience is not really sure if you are the person that should be, or if you're the person that can actually help them solve their problems, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that becomes clear. So, like, it makes me think about how when I'm teaching business owners how to build their brand from scratch, and one of the things that we walk through is like that mission, that vision, and that values, because it gives them their identity as a business. And so what you're
Right.
saying is many business owners are not walking in their business identity. And so because their business doesn't have an identity, it shows up on social media and in their marketing as an identity crisis. So their people can't even find them. Ooh, that's deep.
Right.
A marketing identity crisis?
Right. No, that is that, and that is so real, thanks to social media, thanks to so many different messages out there. Um, wow, I like that. The identity crisis in marketing. Ain't that something?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It sounds like something you should be rushing to trademark.
Mm,
That ain't none of
okay.
my business. But even when we talk about marketing in this space, one of the things that I want to hit on, because right when I think about my identity and what Malika is kind of coaching us on, is being very clear on who you are. So, right, I know when you come to me, you get more than an attorney. I know when you come to me, you get more than a business strategist. I know when you come to me, I am not average, right? And so I'm going to push, coach, and strategize with you to not be average in your business so that you don't have average results. And when you are starting out, when you are crafting that identity, one of the things that you need to lean into is making sure your message is actually true.
Mm,
Say that because so many business owners go out there over promising and under delivering. And when you under deliver, you put yourself at risk for a lawsuit. It's in the world of unfair business practice, it's in the world of consumer protection law, it's in the
mm,
world of marketing and advertising law. And so, though
mhm.
you have hope for different things, you want to make sure that even in that marketing stage, you sit down with an attorney to make sure that you are saying something that is true and something that is possible. Because if not, the alphabet boys will come and get you. Somebody's like, who are the alphabet boys? National, federal, state, and
The
local government agencies, right?
right.
Municipalities, they will come and get you for the things that you are not saying that's accurate, because like you care about your clients, they care about their constituents, and they care about their people, so they want to make sure that you are not misleading them with your quote unquote business.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. That, I mean, that is so, so very true. And that is why, again, it's so, 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 so important to stay true to yourself and not follow what everyone else is doing. You have a lot of programs out here where people guarantee monetary, oh, make X amount of dollars in X amount of time and this, and like, honestly, I do not coach my clients to have those type of promises in their pitch and in their program when it comes, because that is going to get you in such big trouble. You can make a promise on what concrete that you can deliver, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody's results is going to be different. So even though you might put a disclaimer in there, oh, the average results is X, Y, and Z, whatever. Don't even put that big disclaimer out there, or that big claim out there that you can help the person make X amount of dollars in X amount of time. And that's something that I personally learned very early on. Um, in my coaching business, you know what I mean? Because it could definitely come back to bite you.
Yeah, yeah. And I think if you're just coming in, I want you to drop in the chat, May, I'm finding my people. In May, I'm finding my people. And we are recapping what it takes to really find your people. So, one, you have to be clear on your identity as a business owner and the mission, vision, and values of your business, right? And Malika talk about ways that she helps with that. And then there are courses that I have online to really walk people through this when it talks about building your brand from scratch. So once you are true to you, then you have that clear message for you to communicate with the world and be true to the people that you are called to. Remember, for the people that are in my world, many of us are Bible believing people. And so we
Mhm.
understand that we're serving our brothers and our sisters, and there's something that God wants to be fostered through them. And so we take it very serious, the work that we do with you. And then the third thing that you have to think about is one, having that message be clear and being willing to be consistent and showing up to deliver that message and not having a business temper tantrum. Oop, I said it. Yep. A business temper
Temper
tantrum
tantrum.
because you didn't get the result that you want. And a lot of this takes you hacking yourself to put in a lot more work than what you are used to doing because it does not come easy. And I love how we talk about in this industry, there is no such thing as an overnight success, but then we want overnight success. Like, how do you
Okay.
really navigate that for people, Malika, when they come to you wanting an overnight success? Like, I've been posting on social media, I've been saying this, I done sent out 5 emails last month, and ain't nobody buying nothing. Just nothing is happening. I'm frustrated. This business has failed.
Yeah, no, you know what's funny? I'm glad you asked that question. That's my reality every day, pretty much when I have consultations with clients. And I always bring up real live scenarios and case studies on actual businesses, right? Real live businesses, the big ones, the small ones. Um, and kind of let's start from the beginning. Let's start from ground zero. These companies did not build these businesses overnight. It just does not happen. And I start to go through a process with them. Okay, this is where we got to start. This is, the step one is step two. Again, I always gonna go back to the building a house analogy. And everybody understands that a house just don't get built, right? It just doesn't appear. It's a process, and your business is no different. And once I break that down to them, and they understand it, but I think again, is people get so caught up in looking at and comparing where they are to where other people are on social media. And a lot of times the stuff is not even real. It's not even real on social media, right? Or they're catching somebody at their prime. They didn't see all the work that's done on the back end or the years that they've put in. They just see where they are now. And we have to get out of um that space of comparing ourselves to other people.
Yeah, that's really good. No comparison over here. You got your own journey, you got your own plans, and you have your own strategy. I think we have to be at a place where we will listen to people, get the guidance, but not use it as it to be our God, but to be our God,
Absolutely.
and then go back to
Absolutely.
for more guidance. And so we talked a lot about, like, how you can find your people, but then the reality is once you find them,
Once you get them.
some people might actually sit there and be stuck and be scared on what to do with them when they get their discovery call, when they're about to make their sales pitch. And so if I think through that piece and what you could be thinking through from that point, it's like, one, what message are you telling them about what they're really buying? Because some of us like to think that we're helping people buy, X, Y, and Z feature. But really, what is the value in the transformation that you're bringing to someone's life? What life
Absolutely.
changing thing are you doing that they need to make an investment in? And for those of you all that are just coming in, we're typing in May I find my people. Make sure you write that. I don't care if you watch this on the replay, right? In May I find my people. Because
Mhm.
if you don't have sales, the neck of your business is broken because that helps everything. When your neck is right, everything else is right. But when you don't have sales, you know, where do you find that
Mm,
people have issues converting leads?
yeah. Oh, I love this question. So, again, it goes back to the mindset, right? And so a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not a salesperson. Oh, I'm not a salesperson." Guess what? You selling yourself every single day. When you show up and you're having conversations with people, you're selling yourself every single day. And so the first thing is remove the mindset of what not being a salesperson. Think about it as you're actually serving somebody. You're solving a problem. So when you put all this work in, you do your marketing, and now boom, your phone rings and you get that client, that first good hot lead, and you're on the call with them, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. Just have a conversation with them. Be confident and know that this person called you because they have a problem that they believe that you can solve, and it is your job to show them and tell them how you're going to be able to solve their problem. um, and I think once you are confident in that, then to me it's an easy, it's an easy sell, it's an easy close. And also too, and this is going to kind of get a little bit deep into the whole sales process, is that a lot of times we have to take out our own thoughts and what's the word I'm looking for,
Bias.
beliefs and biases and beliefs on what this person on the phone can and can't do. When we start talking about, well, they probably can't do this or they probably can't do that, or you know what I mean, when it comes to resources and being able to pay, let's take all of that out, have a conversation with them, ask discovery questions, you understand, and again, assume that that you're going to close them on a call, and let that be.
You said something powerful, right? And this goes back to the earlier part of the live where we were talking about that scarcity mindset versus that abundance mindset. And I see Nibella dropped in the chat. She said confidence is the key to everything. And that's so true, because one of the things
Mhm.
that I saw, I was like, you know what? Lesser people have done it, and lesser people are doing it. Like half the talent, half the charisma, half the everything. But they are confident enough to know that they have some solution, and they gonna sell you that solution too, whether it works or not. But remember, if it don't work, y'all better not be lying out here, because the alphabet people will come and get you. Now,
Right.
this last
And
one
they
is
gotta listen. Oh,
no,
oh, go ahead.
this last one is going to seem really simple for you all. But one of the keys to sales is actually having a plan.
Mm.
Actually having a plan and having at least something scripted out when you are on a sales call. Having something scripted out when you do your master classes, webinars, whatever it is. Having
Yes.
scripted out when you show up on someone else's platform, on a podcast, on a stage. But if you do not plan, you are not planning for the abundance of people that recognize that you are a solution to them. And so you're kind of setting yourself up to lose when you are actually called to help those people and they can't get the help that they need because you didn't have a plan.
Right. Absolutely. Planning is key. And again, it goes back. If you have not shown this person that you can solve their problem, they're gonna hang the phone up or not respond to your email or your DM or whatever, and they're going to move on to the next person. And especially if you're new, and you're really not comfortable with selling, you definitely need to have a word for word script. And I do sales coaching as well. I have been in sales forever. But you need to have a word for word script. And if you are a little bit more experienced, then at least, again, some bullet points or some type of framework, because there is a framework that you have with sales calls for successful sales calls. And you definitely need to have it. You cannot be out here just winging it, thinking that, all right, I'm going to wing it and I'm gonna just hope that somebody don't know what I'm saying or don't really don't really understand, and they'll buy.
No, that's really really good and really really strong. We're not hoping out here because you are in this community with Malika and Jamila. You now are at a place where you are a more sophisticated entrepreneur, right? And I want you to kind of like dust off your shoulders, pull
Mm,
yourself together and be like, yeah, I'm a different type of CEO. I'm not the average CEO. And especially when you think about where people are, This is the last thing I'm gonna say, because at this point we just giving everybody a free coaching session, going on
Mm.
over. We need to pull it back, but this is how much we love
This is, yeah, it is
it's
all
a
good.
labor of love. I think that
Absolutely.
is you all and us really being willing to really pay attention to data. I'm going to say that time and time again. I don't think you ever lose any opportunity in business. You gain everything. Like, you either gain knowledge, you gain profits, um,
Hmm.
gain, the transformation that's on the other side of whatever it is that you offer. And so when you study that data and you're able to present it in a way, that leads to greater conversions too. And so I was talking to Nadella yesterday. She creates custom wigs for people. And
Hmm.
I'm like, you're not selling wigs, you're selling women empowerment, you're selling
Yes.
self-confidence, you're selling
Yes.
all of these things that people embody when they have
Right.
your solution. And
Yep.
so this is why this is important. And I think, like, that's one of the reasons why I think I'm your business lethal weapon.
Yep.
Where do you go where you get an attorney that can guide you in that way, right? Where do you go that you get a business strategist that could then come on the other side and then tell you all of the legal ramifications of every decision that you're going to make? And Malika, share with them why you their superpower.
Yeah. So listen, I'm your 1-2 punch, right? And here is why. Here is why. You talking about marketing and sales strategist at its best. I've been doing this for a very, very long time. And I have helped businesses, and this number, it blows my mind every time I think. I'm like,
Hey,
Dad,
girl. Hey.
$1 billion in sales and revenue. I have helped businesses, like, and give myself a pat on the back for that. But no, but yeah, and so very seldom do you find someone who is strong in both and and able to marry the two, because at the end of the day, sales and marketing, to me, they cousins, right? And usually you have a person that's, and strong in one and not so in the other. But I create sales scripts for my clients. We role play. We go in when it comes to the sales piece of it as well. So that way you're not left just having a marketing strategy, and now when you get those calls and those emails in, and those leads coming in, you don't know what to do. We're closers, right? We're closers, and I'm going to teach you guys how to be closers at the end of the day, and being able to convert those quality leads that you're ultimately going to be getting. Why? Because your message in the beginning was right, and you're speaking to the right people.
Boom. Y'all gonna if you want more information, go into the description. We have two freebies for you. Malika has one on marketing and some secret cheat sheets that you can use there, and then I have a cheat sheet around trademarks, copyrights, and contracts. And if you have already started your business and you're like, I'm missing some things, you probably need to head over to imandmore.com and make sure that you actually purchase one of the courses to make sure you're on the right track. I am so excited that we got to deliver this message. And when I tell y'all, it's about to be good. So just every other Thursday, you want to lock in. And if you can't lock in, at the very least, you want to go back and watch the replay. And so, like this, tag people, share this,
Share it.
subscribe to the channel, and come with your questions.
I was
Come.
just getting ready to say that. I was just getting ready to say, come with the questions. That's what we're here for. We don't want to just be talk, talk, talk. And so we want to be able to really be able to help you guys. So definitely come with the questions. Thanks, Deborah.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, y'all. It's been another amazing session around what are we doing to protect and increase our profits and really just go out here and be these dope CEOs. Malika, any last things
Uh,
to the people?
I just say, listen, shine your star. Let your star shine shine as bright as possible, and just go out there and just do it. That's it. Just go out there and do it. And it is okay to make mistakes in the journey, in the process. That is totally okay. And you just got to keep going. That's it.
All right. In the words of Martin, peace.